AITA for kicking my sister and her children out over a toothbrush? This is a throwaway account. For some background that may be important to the story, I am a 26-year-old man, and I live alone. When I was 5 years old, I was diagnosed with high-functioning autism. Because of my autism, I have a special interest in the children's show Paw Patrol. It is a huge aspect of my life and personality, and I find myself often collecting merchandise from the show. One of my spare bedrooms is decorated completely Paw Patrol based, and the walls are covered in shelves where I display my figures/plushies. On to the story now. My older sister, 29F, asked to stay with me for a week or two with her two kids, 11 and 9M, because I have an empty room, and her husband had been having really bad arguments nonstop and she needed to take a break and make sure it wouldn't affect her children's emotional health. Early Wednesday morning, they came to my place and I settled them into the guest room, different from the room I keep my merchandise, and had to go to work at about 7 a.m. I told my sister to just relax for a while and to make herself at home, with my only stipulations being she and her boys keep away from my merchandise room and my bedroom. I came home from work later on to the children asleep on my couch and my sister having a shower. Once I had went into my merchandise room to check up on it, it was a mess. Figures were on the ground, and lots of my stuffed animals were moved from where they go on their shelves. Nothing was damaged aside from a Paw Patrol toothbrush that I kept sealed and on display. It was opened and on the floor. I got really upset at my sister and sort of wanted to cry. Autism affects my emotional regulation, especially when a situation is related to my special interest, and I started to ask my sister to replace the toothbrush since her children went in the room. I asked them all not to go in. I didn't raise my voice, but I was very upset and angry. She refused and told me I'm a dick for asking her to replace something I left out in the open, and we just kept arguing. Eventually, I was close to having a meltdown because my Paw Patrol items are really important to me, and I felt ignored and belittled. I asked her and her children to leave my house, and offered to get her a hotel room for a while because I was struggling to calm down. I may be an for acting this way. She screamed at me and called me dramatic and childish before slamming the door and leaving. I know the toothbrush wasn't that expensive, but I found myself feeling really upset because the boundary I set was broken and my favorite room was left a mess. AITA for making her leave?